Hey, welcome to EPN. I'm your host, Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. You know, there's tons going on in games, entertainment, and tech. That's why we like to plop them all on a giant tortilla, throw some beans, rice, and cheese on there, roll it up into a burrito we call the Rundown. Let's get started. If you've been patiently waiting for a dedicated amiibo game, Pokkén Tournament might be the next best thing. Nintendo has revealed that the upcoming Pokemon fighting game will be compatible with all of the amiibos that have been released so far. That doesn't mean it will just work with the Pokemon amiibos, but all of them, including characters that have nothing to do with the franchise. They haven't said exactly what each individual amiibo figure will be able to unlock in the game, but don't be surprised if many of them just give you in-game items instead of playable fighters. The massive amiibo compatibility is on top of the already announced Shadow Mewtwo amiibo card, which will come with all first edition copies of the game. Pokkén Tournament is a collaboration between Nintendo and Tekken developer Bandai Namco. It was released in Japanese arcades last year and will hit the Wii U worldwide on March 18th. Plenty of big movies had awesome Super Bowl commercials, but this one probably has us the most excited. Universal Pictures unveiled the first footage for the new Jason Bourne movie, which is called, you guessed it, Jason Bourne. The title seems like a bold move given that it does away with the familiar the something something naming convention of Robert Ludlum's work. Matt Damon returns to his most famous role for the first time in almost a decade, along with director Paul Greengrass behind the camera. Jason Bourne lands in theaters July 29th. Nowhere to be seen is Jeremy Renner, who starred in the Bourne-less spin-off, The Bourne Legacy, in 2012. Bourne's not the only lethal action star that's back. Agent 47 is back in action as well. The beta test for the new Hitman game, simply titled Hitman, will begin this Friday, February 12th on the PS4, with the PC version starting a week after that on February 19th. Although the final game will be released on the Xbox One, that console won't be part of the beta. You'll need to pre-order the game on the PC or PS4 if you want to take part. As for what players will get, the beta includes the prologue chapter of the game, which is a big portion of the first episode. Yes, the new Hitman is episodic, with the story unfolding over multiple parts that will be released during the course of the year. Publisher Square Enix had a lot of success with the episodic model with their recent adventure game Life is Strange. The first episode of Hitman rolls out on March 11th. It looks like Apple isn't cool with babies being locked in basements with horrible monsters. An iOS port of the hit game The Binding of Isaac has been rejected by the tech giant. Co-developer Tyrone Rodriguez posted the rejection notice on Twitter, showing that Apple objects to the game's depiction of violence and abuse towards children. The Binding of Isaac is a thinly veiled critique of the Old Testament story of the same name and features a cartoon baby taking on demonic monsters inside a dungeon-like basement. Nintendo had similar objections to the game before eventually allowing it to be released on the 3DS, so hopefully Apple will change their mind as well. This happens to be the first official confirmation that The Binding of Isaac is coming to iOS devices, although the port has been rumored for a while. Titanfall 2 is going to offer a more solitary experience. The upcoming sequel to the multiplayer mech game will also include a single-player campaign. That's according to the game's lead writer, Jesse Stern. Speaking with Forbes, he admits that one of the shortcomings of the first game is that they weren't able to tell the sweeping sci-fi story that they wanted to within the multiplayer, and that the sequel will fix this. The lack of single-player was one of the biggest hurdles many players had with the first game, as well as the fact that it wasn't released on the PS4. Publisher EA has already confirmed that the sequel will launch on the Sony console alongside the Xbox One and PC. Expect to see Titanfall 2 late this year or early next year. There's also a spin-off TV series in the works at Lionsgate Television, but there's no word yet on when that might deploy. That's it for our rundown today. We'll be back again with a brand new one tomorrow. Hey, thanks for checking out that video on our EPN channel. It's just one small part of the things that we make around here. So if you liked it, don't forget to check out some of our other vids and hit that subscribe button.